Hello guys, my name is Mustafa. I am the property professor. I will be talking about land documentation today. The last video I released, I talked about land size and how best you can measure your land to avoid being scammed by scammers or the quacks, the real estate quacks. So today I'll be diving into documentation. Documentation is one of the most germane part of real estate or part of buying real estate, but a lot of people pay little or no attention to these things. That's where they get easily scammed. But I'll be giving you valuable information on how to invest properly and prevent being scammed of your hard-earned money. Now, when you buy a land, I get a question most of the time that what are the documentation that you are meant or an individual is meant to have when you're buying a land, and this question cannot be answered directly because it's a diversified question. It depends, or it's dependent on the type of property you are buying that will determine what kind of documents you are meant to get. Now, let's talk about the documents that are obtainable and when exactly are they obtainable. When you are buying land from a real estate company, right, you might be getting your C of O, your survey, and your receipt. However, when you are buying for the first time, or let's even assume you're not buying for the first time, you're buying from a real estate company or maybe a family that owns a particular vast of land, you're going to be getting your receipt. Your receipt is the first and foremost. You can buy from Oba, you can buy from family that owns a vast of land, you can buy from a real estate company. But the first thing you have to acquire as a document or as a source document is what your receipt. That's the first thing. When the moment you acquire a receipt, then you can talk about survey and you can talk about C of O. Now, if you are buying from a real estate company, you might not necessarily have to stress yourself about how to process your survey or your C of O, because that will be part of the package they are going to be giving to you as their customer or as their client. However, when you're buying from an Oba or you're buying from a family that wants to sell a property to, let's say, land grabbers and what have you, you are meant to process your C of O yourself. Now, how much are you willing to pay for a land that you still have to process the C of O? Because processing C of O is stressful, is expensive, and sometimes takes a long period of time to process. Now, if you are buying a land for a particular amount of money and you are considering the cost of processing this vital document, how much are you meant to pay for a land? Let's assume a plot, when you know you're still going to be adding some other cost or incurring some other cost as regards the documentation. How much are you meant to pay? I'll be doing a video on that exclusively, but for now, what I'm just focusing on is the documentation. Now, I actually spoke about when you're buying from a real estate company. Now, let me talk about when you're buying from an Oba or a particular family, where you have to process documents yourself, right? Now, when you get your receipt at first, you get a surveyor to come on the land. Well, you might actually have gotten a surveyor first before you even make the payment, because sometimes these lands are not as much as they claim it is. You can want to buy a land of 600 square meter now, and when your surveyor measures it, it might not even be up to 400 square meter. Do you understand? So you must have gotten the surveyor to go to the property first, measure the land properly, and it's up to 600 square meter, and you will pay. They give you a receipt, and your surveyor can now run a survey plan, a proper survey plan that's going to be showing the coordinates and the origin of that particular property or that particular land. Now, that's the comparison between buying from a real estate company and buying from land grabbers or perhaps an Oba or a family. Now, let's move on to types of the survey that we have. We have two major types of survey, although we have some other sub type of survey, but the two major ones are what? The perimeter survey and the layout survey. Now, the perimeter survey is just a survey that actually shows a reflection of the size or the proportion of a particular property, the way it actually looks like. I'll be showing it in a practical or a pragmatic format in the next video I'll be dropping. So that's what a perimeter survey, the exact way the perimeter, the measurement of that land, the exact way it is on the surface of the earth. That's how it's mainly represented in your perimeter survey. Now, what is layout survey? Layout survey basically means a survey that is a subset of other surveys. That's what most people call group survey, and that's what they make use of in real estate companies. Like all these real estate companies you buy from, they do a group survey, which means that if they're buying a let's say 2 acres or 3 acres, it's a subset. They're going to survey this land together. So when you're asking for a survey, it's the same survey that authenticates your land, that authenticates some other people's land. So let's say Mr. A to Mr. A, B, C, D bought it properly. They can survey the whole property at the same time, whereby they were having a collective survey. So that's just a summary. A layout survey is a collection of different plot survey, whereas a perimeter survey is a survey of just one plot or one land survey. So that's that on that. Thank you very much. Like, if you have gained anything from this, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.